Hello everyone! We are happy to see you again with a new Burda style video in which we present Model 1 from the Burda Kids magazine number 1 2022. It shows you how to make an enchanting dress with buttons at the back and pretty frills that decorate the armholes and neckline. It's perfect for little girls who want to be elegant like the big girls. The dress also has seam pockets, which are always very practical for storing things close at hand. To complete the summery side of this dainty dress, we've chosen a fresh peach-colored cotton fabric with a floral pattern. Fabric is made from GOTS certified organic fibers, which you can find on the website of our partner C. Poly. In addition to your usual sewing supplies, you'll need interfacing and some buttons. I've already cut out pieces 1 to 7 according to the cutting layout and transferred all the necessary markings. The buttonholes and buttons are also already marked according to the desired button size. I've also added interfacing to the neckline facings. For stitching, I use the Excellence 580 Plus sewing machine from Elna, and for the neatened edges, the Elna Extend 864 Air Overlock machine. I start with the shoulder seams. I neaten the shoulder allowances and then place the back pieces on the front piece right sides together. I pin the shoulder seams and stitch them along seam 1. I place the back facing pieces on the front facing pieces right sides together and stitch. The shoulder seams are stitched along seam 4. I press the seams of the dress and the facing apart and then neaten the outer edge of the facing and the back edge of the dress. On to the neckline. I fold the integrated facing to the outside and pin the neckline. Next, I place the neckline facing on the dress neckline right sides together. I place the neckline facing on the integrated facing of the back pieces. I pin the facing to the neckline, making sure that the shoulder seams meet, and stitch. I clip the allowances and the curves, fold the facing to the inside, and press the seam. I top stitch the neckline edge close to the edge and sew the facing to the shoulder seams with a few stitches by hand. I continue with the frill at the neckline. I neaten the curved edges of the frill so that a seam allowance of only 0.5 centimeters or 1/4 of an inch remains. If you do not have an overlock machine, trim the allowances and neaten them. Next, I fold and press the outer seam allowance to the inside and top stitch close to the edge. I fold and press the inside seam allowances to the wrong side and make 2 lines of stitching for the gathers, one 8mm or 3/8 of an inch from the edge and the other 5mm or 1/4 of an inch away from the first line. Now I pull the threads until I reach the length that I need, which goes from the placement line on the front side to seam 3 of the back neckline. I knot the threads, distribute the width evenly, and pin the frills to the front side of the dress along the placement line and previously transferred. The point of the frill is on the front side. I stitch it between the 2 lines of stitching and secure the seam ends by back stitching. Now I continue with the armhole frills. Like with the armhole frill, I neaten the curved edges so that an allowance of only 0.5 centimeters or 1/4 of an inch remains. I fold and press the seam allowance to the inside and stitch it close to the edge. Next, I make 2 lines of stitching for the gathers along the other edge, pull the threads so that they're the same length as the armhole, and knot the threads. I pin the frills to the armhole and stitch them between the 2 lines of stitching. I neaten the allowances together, press them away from the dress, and top stitch along the armhole close to the seam. You will find another technique for sewing the frill in our tutorial for Burda Kids number 1 2021. The link is in the description for this video. Next step, the pockets. I neaten the curve of the pocket pouches and pin them to the back and front pieces on each side, right sides together. Here, the notches must match. I stitch each one to a side edge and then secure the seam ends. I fold the pocket pouch to the side edge, press, and neaten the seam. Next, I place the back pieces on the front piece right sides together and pin the side edges so that the pocket pouch seams meet. I stitch the side edges to the notches and secure the seam ends, making sure that the pocket openings stay open. I press the seams apart, place the pocket pouches right sides together, pin them, and stitch. I also secure the seam ends by backstitching here. And now the hem. I neaten the hem edge, fold it to the inside, and press it flat. Next, I fold the integrated facing at the back on top of the hem and press. I stitch the hem 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch from the edge, catching the facing. Last step, the buttonholes and buttons. I make the buttonholes on the left side of the back, and then sew on the buttons. And now this nice dress for the summer season is finished. Don't forget to share your creations with us and exchange with the sewing fans on our social networks. As for me, we'll see each other soon for the next model. Burda Style says thank you and recommends its partners Elna and C. Polly. Thank you for following us and see you soon with new Burda Style tutorials.